guys, this is Himanshu and I'm back with my video today which was focused on software development methodology. There are two main methodologies that are in the picture and those are the ones that I'll touch. One is a little more traditional, has been done for a long duration of time, but is slowly getting out of the picture and being less relevant in the overall corporate structure. That's the waterfall methodology of software development. The second one that I'm going to touch upon is Agile. Agile is the new methodology that is picking up a lot of speed, and all the organizations and in this highly technical world, it's becoming more and more relevant. Agile has its own benefits, and a lot of the benefits of Agile are very relevant in today's world where everything is fast paced and people want to see results. So, Agile is the methodology that I'll touch upon. So let's talk about waterfall a little bit, and then we'll see what some of the problems are with waterfall and how things work in waterfall actually. So waterfall is a traditional methodology and it has been used for years. Waterfall methodology is very sequential. It has to go through the phases, and before you see any results, all these phases have to be completed. Without the completion of all phases, you won't really have an output that you can look at in the waterfall methodology. The requirements are always defined up front and frozen. No one can touch those requirements while the solution is being built, tested, and deployed. Every phase has its unique purpose in the waterfall methodology, right? And that is sometimes a little bit of a challenge. So when we are doing development, we cannot go back and touch what the design was or what the requirements were, and those are some of the things that ended up being challenges because people used to spend 3 to 5 months or even 12-month cycles of a lot of hard work in development testing, and because there was some lack of communication at the requirement gathering phase, the final product that was delivered was not up to the mark and was not up to the expectations. So the waterfall method, which did not show any results for a long duration, slowly started to show the chinks, and people were facing it as a very big challenge slowly as things were moving on. Some of the key phases in a waterfall based development are planning, design, build, test, deploy, and run. Now, if I give a quick description on those, right? Planning is where you are thinking about your product. What are the features that you want in your product? What are some of the key aspects and teams that you'll need in the development of this product, etc. All of that falls in planning. Next up is design. This is where you design the actual architecture of what you want to achieve. What are some of the systems that it will touch? What are the integration points, etc. Next comes the build. Build is the actual development. So all your developers and the teams that are working closely with the developers will start the actual coding process and all of that, and which will slowly mean that in a duration of 2 months, 3 months, depending on the size of the program itself, there will be a solution that will be built, be it on a website, which is a web-based application, or it could be like a standalone application that can be run on computers. So that's basically the phase where we are building and developing the application. Next up is testing, where you know the requirements, you're testing if everything works right, you're testing if all your plans that you wanted to achieve have been achieved. Next is actual deployment and production environment, so that all the systems that need to be integrated with are integrated, and all the systems that need to be used are actually working. And the next is run, where it gets actually delivered to the customers and the customers have started using it on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes these whole phases that need to be complete take anywhere between 6 to 12 months depending on the size of the product, and if there were any gaps, those gaps were never addressed because nobody saw what was being built, and this was a problem, and that's where Agile came into the picture. Agile as a methodology is very iterative. There's a lot of focus on doing iterative processing. Agile focused is based on collaborative and cross-functional teams. So an agile pod or agile team has members from the different fields of the work that is being done. There's a business team member, there's a product owner, there are scrum masters, developers, all of them work together. Agile is always split up into sprints, and every sprint has a final result. There's an outcome that comes out of the sprint which the product owner or your stakeholders can take a look at, And if they think that there's something which is not working out well, or the design that we had thought of did not cover all the key aspects, they can at that very moment in the retrospective do an iteration and request like an enhancement during the development cycle, and that is something that can be added to the next sprint as a key tasks in terms of the development piece. So what happens is your development cycles don't get wasted, because if this issue was not spotted in the end of the first sprint, it would have been gone in and to the end of the product, and when the product would have been ready for testing or release, that's when they would have thought, oh, I don't think I like this as much as we thought it would. And so now if we want to plan again, it would have taken a lot of time. But in the agile approach, because of the sprint based approaches, the sprint one, at the end of the sprint one, because there's a minimum viable product that the teams are starting to see, they can actually iterate live, and they can actually have the developers make some changes on sprint 2. The agile approach is based on user stories, so the work is basically cut up into smaller pieces. There's an estimation process that happens where we define how is this whole system and the work that is being split up, how big is it. So a particular user story is sized according to different methods. One very popular method is like t-shirt sizing: extra small, small, medium, large, etc. The capacity of the team is also measured, and then according to the size of the user stories and the capacity of the team, there's a concept of velocity on how much user story points can a team cover, and what do we want to have as our number of user stories per sprint. What is our rate at which we are able to complete the user stories. So all of this helps in a lot of iterations, and the team also understands what is going on, and the environment is really collaborative. Some of the key team members in an agile based approach are product managers, scrum masters, development team. There are stakeholders who are involved as well. So every end of sprint there is a presentation or a demo to the stakeholders, and that gives them a view. So this is a overview of how agile actually works. Agile focuses mainly on delivering the value to customer as quickly as possible. So every sprint end has a valuable product that the stakeholders can see. So it is a key aspect which was liked by the organizations, and everybody started to slowly make the move towards agile. Although Agile was pioneered at startups for high tech and digital products, today it's actually prevalent in most of the large organizations. It used to be something which was a very popular thing with startups and places where it was a very high paced environment. But the highly organized and the big tech organizations have also seen value in what Agile brings, and they've started to do a migration towards Agile slowly. People generally develop a roadmap on Agile, which is approximately 24 to 36 months, depending on how big the organization is. And they start off with a pilot on migrating from Waterfall to Agile, etc. So hopefully I gave you a good overview and you liked the descriptions that we have for Waterfall and Agile. I'll come back with more content on Agile, and what are some of the different Agile ways of working, what are some of the things that an organization should focus on when they want to do Agile. I'll also talk about some of the key team members and what their roles are within an Agile pod. So all of this is coming up. Thanks a lot for watching. Give me a like, subscribe to my channel if you want to learn more about technology and career based information. I'll come back with more on Agile, and until then, see you later.